Vedic astrology. Today, we are going to talk about extramarital affairs. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing, subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your views and your comments there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates as and when they come up. So, when we talk about extramarital affairs, we have to see certain planets, certain houses, and certain nakshatras, as always, which are associated with this kind of activity. So beginning from the houses which are related to extramarital affairs. And as it is a very controversial and a delicate topic, as a disclaimer, I'd like to tell you that all houses, all planets, and all nakshatras signify a lot of things to go into a relationship outside of marriage or not is also a free will that a person can exert at any point of time. So if there is a combination in your chart and yet you decide to just not go there, then it is also a possibility that you may move ahead without encountering these issues in life. So when we talk about the houses, we first have to see to the sixth house. The sixth house talks about the Sahapatni bhav. That means the spouse could be indulging in an activity and maybe having a certain relationship outside of marriage. That is what is meant by Sahapatni. The eighth house. The eighth house is the house of secret affairs. There are many things that we do secretly. Again, we can be enjoying a relationship outside of marriage as well as having a sadhana. So the eighth house is also important when we talk about an extramarital affair. The 12th house is the house that gives bed pleasures. And so an intense relationship can also be observed from the 12th house. The 5th house is the house of love. When we have a number of planets there, so it can also give you a lot of charisma, a lot of ability to move into relationships that can be mental and can later on develop into any one of these houses. Can also, if they're afflicted, they can definitely show you a relationship. Now, when we talk about planets, we know that it's not just a single planet that gives this an effect. Obviously, these houses, their lords are important in the participation, but what is important is malefics in the 8th house. When a person has malefics in the 8th house, a person is capable of doing secret deeds very boldly. The person does not shy away from anything and will do anything to keep those deeds very quiet, very strong. And then we have a Mars-Venus combination. It's a classical combination showing a lot of physical aggression, showing a lot of charisma, and thereby giving a person an ability to have multiple relationships. Jupiter-Venus relationships. Yes, Jupiter-Venus relationship can come as a shock for many, but then this is a relationship. This is said to be one of the combinations in Nadi astrology for many wives. And we will be continuing and seeing this in another video of ours on Jupiter and Venus. So let's go to the nakshatras. The nakshatras are important when we are seeing extramarital relationships, which you will also be able to see in a certain chart. So when we are talking about nakshatra, when somebody has a kritika, strong kritika, mrigsira, pushya nakshatra, purva falguni, swati, vishakha, jeshtha, shravana, or sadbihish, these nakshatras, when you have planets placed in one, or rather the Lagna Lord, the 7th Lord, the 8th Lord placed in these houses, Mars or Venus placed in these nakshatras, then you can expect things to move into the direction of an extramarital affair. Malefics, I repeat, in the 8th house can give these problems for many people. So I'm taking here the chart of Kamal Haasan. Kamal Haasan has been known to be a very charismatic actor, but he's also been in news many a times for his affairs and extramarital affairs. In fact, when we look at his D1, for starters, we see that the eighth house, there is nothing. In the sixth house, there's a benefic. And in the 12th house also, there's no malefic effect. There's no planet sitting there. So how can we say that he has been so charismatic? Here, we will need to check the D9, but this is where your nakshatras will come into use. And they will tell you the story very clearly. We see his sun and ascendant. His sun and ascendant are placed in Vishakha Nakshatra. One of the nakshatras I very categorically stated that is open to a lot of charisma, is open to a lot of affairs. Then he has his seventh Lord Mars placed in the Shravana Nakshatra. Jupiter for him is exalted, and it is placed in the 10th house. It's also the sixth lord placed in the 10th house in Pushya Nakshatra. He's come across many people willing to fling at him in his profession, and that is where he's met many of his partners. We would also like to take up the D9. It's very important to take up the D9 in case of judging an extramarital affair, because nakshatras are good, they are important, and it is solidified by the D9. In some other class, in some other place, we'd also like to take up how to see very minutely the D9 also. We have it coming up in one of our courses on divisional charts. But for starters, you can see that his 8th house of the 6th house of the D9, there is Mars aspecting. There's a 6th lord retrograde present in the 8th house of his D9, and the 6th house is aspected by two malefics, Saturn and Mars, without any benefic there. Also, we see that there is a 12 in the 12th house of the D9 is a malefic. All these can be seen very clearly, indicating of a strong relationship outside marriage. Albert Einstein was known to be one of the biggest brains of his times, and even today is respected for that. But it is also a known fact that he did have relations outside of marriage. We can see, as I said, the malefics in the 8th house are a good indication. We see here that his 8th house has Rahu, and it also has Mars, an exalted Mars, showing a strong libido in him. When we check out the nakshatra, we see that Rahu is placed in Shravan Nakshatra, and Ketu is placed in Pushya Nakshatra for him. So we see that the 8th house has a very strong impact in his life for him. It led him to discoveries. It also led him to having relationship outside of marriage. We check the same thing from the D9 again to make sure that we are on the right path. We see the 8th house. There are two very strong malefics again in the 8th house, an exalted Saturn and Ketu sitting in Libra in the 8th house, in the D9, and the 12th house has the combination of Venus and Mars. What more? So what are important is houses, planetary combinations, and obviously the nakshatras. Do write into us. Let us know how you found this video, and don't forget to comment, like, and share. Till we meet with you again, hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.